The next cycle that we will discuss about is oxygen cycle. Oxygen is one of the most abundant elements on Earth. It is colorless, odorless, and tasteless gas. It is denser than air and it has poor conductor of heat and electricity. The oxygen cycle is the biogeochemical transition of oxygen atoms between different oxidation states in ions, oxides, and molecules through redox reactions within and between the spheres or reservoir of the planet Earth. It involves the interchange of oxygen between the elemental form of gases, oxygen, and chemically bound oxygen in chemical dioxide, water, minerals, and organic matter. It is strongly tied with other elemental cycles, particularly the carbon cycle. Here are a diagram showing the detailed organic cycles in our ecosystem. So you can see here that oxygen is exchanged among the atmosphere, geosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. There are different processes that occurs during the oxygen cycle. Common process you think of oxygen is by photosynthesis. In the presence of carbon dioxide, water, and solar energy, plant convert this into oxygen, which are released into the atmosphere. And then we consume the oxygen through respiration, then produce carbon dioxide, release of carbon dioxide into the environment. And then oxygen is also consumed by reducing gases of volcanic origin. Oxygen is also consumed by burning of fossil fuel to produce carbon dioxide. And then at the stratospheric layer, ozone is filtered out to protect the life on Earth. Here, ozone will produce oxygen, which are then recycled to reproduce ozone. Here are recycle process in the stratospheric layer, which protect the Earth because they dissociates the ozone, produce oxygen and elemental oxygen, and thus it protects the Earth from the harmful UV light. And then we have oxidative weathering of reduced mineral, for example, oxygen reacting with iron 2 oxide to produce iron 3 oxide. And then in the ocean, the dissolved CO2 or carbon dioxide dissolve in water to produce carbonate, which then precipitate as calcium carbonate. Oxygen in the troposphere plays a strong role in the process that occurs on the Earth's surface. Atmospheric oxygen takes part in energy-producing reactions such as the burning of fossil fuel. Atmospheric oxygen is utilized by aerobic mechanism in the degradation of organic material. Some oxidative weathering processes of mineral consume oxygen, such as the formation of iron 3 oxide. Stratospheric ozone filter out ultraviolet radiation in the wavelength range of 220 to 330 nanometer, which protect the life on Earth from the highly damaging effect of this radiation. So this is the reaction that occurs from the oxygen can react with ultraviolet light to produce elemental oxygen. This elemental oxygen can combine with oxygen to produce ozone, and then ozone in the presence of UV light can reduce to oxygen and elemental oxygen. Oxygen is returned to the atmosphere through plant photosynthesis. Some of the impact of human to the oxygen cycle is deforestation, whereby due to the fewer plants, you have less oxygen and more carbon dioxide, and also due to the combustion of fossil fuel, which cause more carbon dioxide to be released in the atmosphere. So both problems will lead to the global warming.